Okay, Lonnie Holcomb, welcome to my noontime rant. Can you hear me out there in Boise, Idaho?
Well, I can hear you fine, Joey. I can hear you great. Thanks for having me.
Outstanding. Hey, I've been getting into this mode where, when I read something in the paper and like this one yesterday where we replaced the commander in Afghanistan and now we're working with Pakistan to go whack targets over there and supposedly to fight terror. And I know this is a little bit different than what we talked about before, but because you have background, your service in the Army and your computer interests, which includes security, I want to ask you a question, because when I read this, I just knew I just crapped a monkey, because we're not getting any safer. So let me just kind of a long question, but since the original intent of the invasion of Afghanistan was to end the Taliban, and that was done, but now we've had this mission creep, which has been to keep them suppressed such that there is no threat to the Afghan government, but the Taliban haven't gone anywhere. They've got a lot of money from the poppy trafficking. They are they are now in Pakistan, which we don't really have. Now, I guess we're working with the government to go whack the targets, but I don't see how we can kill all their safe havens when the Russians had 150,000 troops there for 10 years and they didn't make a dent. So how can we prevent this? Mission creep is going nowhere. There's no way you're going to suppress terror to keep us any safer, no matter how many troops you pour in there. What do you think?
Well, no, I just think the method they're using is off base. I think you got to realize Afghanistan was the bane of not only the Russians, but before that the British, and now it's looking like it's going to be ours. The ironic part was when when they invaded Afghanistan in the 70s, it ended up being called Russia's Vietnam, because just like Vietnam for us, it was basically a place where it was much like the old story of the tar baby in the Bear Rabbit, where you basically get your hand stuck in it and you can't get out of it. At this point, it's a no-win situation, but they keep telling us, well, we have to identify terrorism. I'm going, I don't think you're fighting terrorism so much per se, as much as you're backing up a puppet government. Then once we pull out, it'll end up being like, I hate to say it, Vietnam was in '75. It's just a case of once they accomplished the mission, which was getting the Taliban out of Afghanistan, basically we should have pulled out then, but instead we've stayed and fought, continued to fight, and we're still bleeding over there and losing people every day. And I'm not sure that we're accomplishing anything. I think the only thing we're doing is we're basically just grinding our military down to nothing, because they're just continually going back and training and going back overseas again, tour after tour. So I don't think that the way they're doing it now is indicative of any way that supports getting the mission that they want to get done. Because the firing of the general there the other day, basically, that was just an off of their heads with it, so they can say, well, we're making big changes here. Well, not really. You just fired one guy. You haven't changed the method. You haven't changed the tactics. You're still going to stay the same. So unless you're really going to go ahead and change the forces out and pull them out, you're really not making any change. The only thing I see them doing is now they're talking about adding another 20,000 troops to Afghanistan. I'm going, like that's going to help.
Yeah, this the estimates that I'm hearing that to really secure the whole country would take at least 200,000 troops, if not another one I saw was 750,000 or something. To do it.
And here's the good news: we haven't had a 750,000 man army since I was an enlisted man in the army back in the '80s. So we don't have that many people. I think we have 350,000 in the Guard, and I think we have another 300,000 in the Army active.
Yeah, it's really futile to think that you could completely secure that. I heard we had a lecture last year with John Counts, who was with ABC News, and he's been to Afghanistan back and forth for 40 years. He looks like an Afghan. He fits right in, and he basically says there's like 90 different languages there. The people each valley has its own culture, and they don't think of themselves as a nation at all.
No.
So, and so they're easily compromised by the poppy trade and the ones that are more sympathetic to the hardcore Islamic fundamentalism. I don't think. I think it's an unwinnable mission, unfortunately, to try to pacify and modernize that country anytime soon.
Yeah, and to do that, you basically, there's no way you can do that the hard way. You just have to make them want to get caught up with the rest of us, and when they're ready, they'll catch up with us eventually. But until then, we're just spinning our wheels right there, and there's nothing really seriously going to happen until basically we get out of there and just come to the realization this was not a good idea. Afghanistan, getting rid of the Taliban may have been a good idea, but once that job was done, we should have got the hell out of Dodge. We should have just left. That was the end of the game. That should have been our end game right there.
Now, the argument that the argument that's made that I hear a lot is that it's not really Afghanistan we're worried about. It's Pakistan, and because they've got the nukes, and we don't want their government taken over by the radicals. And
I can understand that. I mean, that would be a bad thing as well, but still, I don't think we're helping anything where we're at. I think we're still basically spinning our wheels. We're not doing anything there. I don't think we're supporting Afghanistan or Pakistan by being in Afghanistan. I think we're just making it more untenable for them as well, destabilizing the whole region.
Yeah, well, I'm not feeling any safer with when we kill 100 civilians in errant airstrikes, the other day. All that does is piss people off in Afghanistan and everywhere else.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It just plants, more seeds of dislike and hate for us right there. It's like, you got to remember, you guys have hold grudges for generations, so it's not a good thing to do that.
Yeah. Well.
Basically, my position is I think we just need to pull out of Afghanistan, and we need to ramp down Iraq to an absolute minimal to zero force as soon as possible. And basically, we need to kind of like unwind the stress on the clock, if you will. Take a load off, because we need some time to back off and actually reevaluate how they are going to really fight the war on terror. If they're going to actually do that, or if they're going to actually say take a new tack at it, go in a different direction. And I don't think fighting the war in Afghanistan is actually fighting the war on terror per se.
Yeah. We're not reducing our susceptibility to terror attacks by this kind of policy. So we only got a minute left. But what would you recommend then, as we we unwind from these occupations, but to stay vigilant? My answer is better intelligence, more human intelligence on the ground, so we can kind of sniff out these things and take care of them with covert actions. What do you think about that?
Well, I would agree as well, but you can't overestimate or underestimate the effect of what they call electronics intelligence or signals intelligence. The people that do scream up and down about the wireless or the warrantless wiretaps that are used here, basically where the NSA goes out and trolls for data. But the fact of the matter is while I have deep reservations about that methodology, it's a way of gleaning intelligence as well that you need to develop along with your human intelligence and things of that nature. And you need to be able to have a complete picture so you know what you're going after. So you're not swinging in the dark blindly, which I think has been happening over the last few years more and more. People just getting intelligence that's mediocre to bad and trying to make it actionable. I think it's a serious problem that we've seen here lately. That's part of the reason I believe why you saw those people die, and that those 100 people die the airstrike the other day. So it's something you have to work on. Right now, that's one of the reasons why we need to ramp down the operations so we can minimize any accidental death by accidental friendly fire, things of that nature. I think that's just one of the reasons we have to pull it back. And also, I think we need to take a step back to reevaluate where the threats really lie right now. And I think we know where they are. It's just a matter of reprioritizing.
I agree with you, Lonnie. All right, we got to leave it right there. Thanks for ringing the Liberty Bell up there in Boise, and I'll maybe see you when I'm coming up there in about a month or two.
Okay, well, I look forward to it, Joey.
All right. Hey, you too. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon.